Hey there folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to a game called Hive Blight. This is a strategy roguelite game with some autobattler mechanics that honestly kind of surprised me. I jumped into the demo and was very pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of strategy, tactics, good team building, and replayability in a game like this. I'm looking forward to showing it off for you today. Now before we get started, I do want to say a big thank you to the developer Optiz Onion for sponsoring today's video, always very much appreciated. The game is officially launching into early access on March 9th. So I'll include a link in the description down below if you like what you see and you want to learn more. Let me go ahead and start up a new game and I'll show you exactly how this is going to work. So as you might have surmised from the title screen, we are playing as a group of insect heroes trying to save their home from an impending fungal plague. We must find its source and uproot it in order to win the game. There are 3 different clans we can choose from, though it looks like in the end there will be about 5, and each one of the clans have their own different specialities. So the Vespada are more focused on melee characters, some good tanky units here. Sweet Symphony, good for buffing, healing, and the Silent Cabal, which is good for, let's say, DPS and debuffing. For the heck of it, let's try playing with Sweet Symphony as our chosen starting unit. So we have a handful of different units we could choose from, plus a special trinket that goes along with it. I think I'm going to start off with the Rallying Call, which lets me place down extra units, and Richard, set the base damage of a unit to 10. Now, when you're looking at a character here, you're going to see their health, their damage, and how quickly they are going to attack, like in attacks per second. Generally speaking, really high damage, really high attack per second, that's really great. You want to have that. This guy takes any units who have terrible attack, like Bob over here, and actually makes them competent. So I could see that pairing up really well with something else. We can choose another character to join our team if I want to go with the Silent Cabal, or we could go with the Vespada. What would make sense here? Maybe play with Achilles here, do some really solid area damage, make him a bit stronger. Maybe wouldn't be a bad plan. Alternatively, could we keep one of these other units? I might want to just go with, let's say, Vladimir here. This guy, whenever he attacks, is going to heal himself. Now, he doesn't attack very quickly, but for an early game tank, he might be all right. Let's go ahead and begin. We gotta choose one more unit. Now, I do love the idea of going for Mr. Cupcake over here, because he's got pretty low damage, but I can buff that up, and he shoots 2 random targets, so he is going to be a very good DPS enabler. Now, looking at the game here, you're going to see this kind of follows a Slay the Spire style of map progression. There are 3 main stages, and therefore 3 end bosses you'll have to deal with, and thus you'll win the game. Let's go into our first battle. So as I said earlier, this game does function a bit like an auto-battler. What you're going to do is position your units, and then you can choose some initial targets or taunting to do, but after that, they're on their own, and they're just going to fight in whatever makes sense. So placement, unit synergies, those things matter a lot. I'm going to go ahead and place Vladimir down over here to try and draw some attention. You may have noticed, by the way, that he's got a lot of exclamation points saying who wants to target him. And I'm going to place Richard back over here in safety and Cupcake back over here adjacent to Richard, because that way we can boost up your damage. We'll double it, in fact, which is going to be amazing. Now, if you really want to make sure that sometimes units are going to attack a specific target, you can drag this guy right back onto the same tile, and that's going to taunt. So sometimes you have a tank unit, you really want to make sure it gets all the front hits, and that's one way to control it. But otherwise, there's not much else to do. So let's go ahead and start here. And you see people just start running through and doing their job. Now, the good news is these initial enemies are exceptionally weak, so we are looking just fine. As a reward, we get some nectar, which is a currency you'll be able to use in the shop. Other resources you'll have to worry about, we do have the Elixir of Life. This is basically your hit points, and if you ever lose a run, you're going to start losing a lot of this. But the problem is, even if your units start taking a lot of damage, you'll have to spend some of your own Elixir to bring them back up to full life before the next fight. So preventing damage is a very good way of keeping yourself in the game for as long as possible. We also have some scrolls here, which are going to reduce the attack speed of enemies for a fight, so in a really bad fight, this could save our bacon. Let's go to the Rallying Banner, and we will get ourselves another unit. Getting Bob early doesn't seem like a bad idea. I can't place him right now unless I want to swap out somebody else. But spreading some healing among wounded allies is not a bad thing to have a healer in my back pocket, just in case. And we could go for another reinforcing party over here and try to recruit somebody else. But I'm okay with doing another battle for the moment, so let's just go ahead and move over here instead. Lots of enemies over here, some big, stronger Chungus funguses. They're fun. So let's go ahead and place, once again, our little rallying guy over here. Notice, by the way, he right now is taking all of the hits, which we don't want. What I want to do is try to draw some of them away. I can't actually place a 4th bug, so I guess I will be placing Bob, and he'll just go ahead and do 10 damage instead of 2. So we've increased his damage by 5 times. Not that he's much of a damage dealer, but every little bit helps. So there we go. All right, I think this Rallying Cry buff is actually going to be phenomenally good for me. We should be able to deal with these Chungus funguses, no problem. Did we take even enough damage to use up any of our elixir? No, we did not. So far, things are looking very, very good for us. We can also see, by the way, how much damage was done, how much damage avoided, blah, 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 blah. I'm not worried about that. Let's go to some treasure. Whenever you go to treasure, you're going to find these little patches over here. This is something you can use to equip your units. So if I click on my party up here, we can see that when this unit is healed, it's going to gain some max HP. So since Vladimir, at least for now, is kind of my main tank, what I'll do is put the magic band-aid on him, and if Bob heals him, he starts getting more and more health. So as long as he keeps getting a lot of the healing, he's going to become a much more respectable tank as time goes on. Do we want to do another fight? Yeah, kind of. I think we'll just go ahead and take the northern route, get some money so I can get into another shop. Let's pick up this guy here, move you forward. I actually don't want Vladimir to be next to Richard over here because it would reset his damage down, and that's not a good thing for me. So we'll keep him away from the group, but this seems all right. I'll let him do the taunting, make sure everything comes after him. As long as I do lots of damage, we'll be all right. Now, these little fungus things over here, they're just going to keep spawning some of these moldkin, but eventually, though, as they keep spawning, they lose HP. So eventually, they kind of kill themselves out. As long as you can deal with all the little ads that are spawning, that's not a big deal. All right, that was a pretty respectable run. Didn't do so bad. Our extra damage from our range guy is phenomenal. Very happy with that. Another treasure. When hit, apply poison to the attacker. So for now, again, I'll put that on Vladimir since I expect he'll be taking the bulk of the hits, but we'll probably want to take that off of him later on. Let's go for another rallying banner. Get somebody else. Who do we have? Interesting. Okay, so range unit here, and every 4 attacks, he boosts up the attack speed of my lowest attack speed ally. Could be good. We could also have a unit who is very stealthy and applies poison. Okay, or Ludwig here. Another harmony ability, set the base attack speed to 1. What are we looking at right now? That wouldn't do me a lot of good. That would boost up Bob or Vladimir, but nobody else. So I'm not sure he's really what I'm going for, and we don't benefit from placing him next to Richard. So it really comes down to, do we think it's worth doing this guy here just to inflict poison? And the answer is maybe. Unless I think it's really worth getting this. If I could boost up his attack speed so he just attacks more often, this could be good in the long run. He's a scaling unit. This guy is maybe a boss killer? That's kind of my thought process anyway. I don't know if that's actually a good plan. Let's go for Bakan. I'm going to give him a shot. I'm not sure it's the right call, but we'll go with it. Now we pop into a merchant. This is where I can spend some of my beautiful nectar. We can get ourselves some more of these patch equipments, or we could go for trinkets, which are going to be like your relic items. So rain units, just straight out get more attack speed. Not a bad option for us. Whenever an enemy with poison dies, we heal a wounded ally. At the start of combat, the lowest attack speed boosts up, or at the start of combat, units with 3 or more adjacent allies get some extra attack speed. That actually is really good for me, because with Harmony, I'm already going to be doing that a lot, so it makes sense. Let's go ahead and pick up another treasure here, by the way. We get, on hit, inflict some poison. Well, okay. Probably want to put that on one of our fastest attackers. I'm going to actually put it on you, since you hit 2 random units, and now we can seriously do some damage. All right. This is going to be a random event. Let's see. Upon arriving in a small glade, you witness a merchant's carriage fleeing a horde of blighted horrors. The merchant should be able to escape if he were to leave his wares behind. What do? We do a fight and we get some sort of a reward, or we could seize the opportunity. Shops will have less options and cost more, but we get 2 free relics. So whenever an enemy with poison dies, inflict more poison, and allies are going to gain some ambush stealth if somebody dies. I'm going to go ahead and try to fight here. Let's actually protect the merchant and see if we get something really good. That's a lot of chunguses! It's a lot of chungus. It's okay. I'm not happy about that, but that's okay. We'll give it a go. So we're going to make sure we get lots of harmony over here. All these guys together are going to boost up each other's attack speed, and everybody here gets a substantial damage boost. And then, of course, Vladimir here is going to be in, let's just say, a lot of pain. I'll put him up over here, actually, maybe like this. Let's give it a go. Some units are going to go over here and attack Richard, but he's done his job. But I'm going to draw most enemies up over this direction. So something like this seems reasonable. Let's give this one a go. This might be painful. I'm kind of planning on just having lots of raw DPS. But Vladimir's actually doing okay. So is Richard. Wow, that worked out way better than I thought it would. See, normally when I'm in a run by now, at least my units are taking enough damage, I start burning through some of my elixir. But we're doing great here. Thank you, says the merchant. I am safe, and more importantly, so are my wares. I'll give you a good price. Everything costs 15 less. Okay, so merchants are extra good for me. We could go to another one, but I have so little money, I don't think it's actually going to do much for me at the moment. I'm going to come over here, grab another one of these treasures. Tempo. Every 4 attacks, somebody gets some healing. Good on your very fast attack units. I guess I'll just put it on you so you do a little bit of healing as well. It seems okay. Get ourselves another one of these trinkets. What do we get at the sacred altar? We can get Allies all have tempo, so everybody heals every 4 attacks. Not bad. When a unit gets health, it also heals for extra health. Okay. Or just straight up gain money every time I enter a shop. I'm going to pick that up just because I have the friendly prices. This means every time I go to a shop, I probably can buy at least 1 trinket. Every time, no matter what. That's not bad. When healed, we get some shield. I mean, I'll put it on you, I guess, on Richard, since he sometimes does some tanking. This is going to be a mini-boss here in the Ominous Presence. Not really any good way around that, unfortunately. So this guy's going to have a special ability. He does range area damage. Really dangerous for me because I'm going to have all my guys really close together. But I think we're just going to have to live with it. Okay, so what I will do, of course, is place you guys all in the back line as we have in the past. I actually think I'll place you here. Since he's stealth for 12 turns, he can start putting some hurt on the boss without actually being at any risk. Though he doesn't get any damage, so it's a little bit risky. Maybe it's still worth doing this just so he can do 10 damage instead of 1, and then inflict the poison on top of that. I think probably, yeah, all right, let's do this. I'm going to make sure you're the taunter, so he's going to shoot at him and hopefully not all the other guys. And let's give this one a go. This is going to hurt, I suspect, but as long as my units don't get too close together, maybe we'll be okay. He's healing himself very nicely here. We're definitely going to take some damage, though. So there you can see we are losing Elixir of Life as we restore these guys. Again, lose all of this, and it's just game over, so you got to be kind of careful. But by beating the mini-boss, we get ourselves another trinket. The first time an ally dies, we can go into stealth. Whenever an enemy dies with poison, we get to inflict more. We have poison, so that's okay. Or all range allies start with a bit of ambush. That means they're not going to get targeted immediately, and that's pretty darn good, but I am going to go for the toxic pollen so we can get a bit of poison spread. That might end up being pretty great for me. Go for another one of these treasures. We get another toffee bulwark. Okay, I guess I'll place that on you as well again. Seems fine. And now we get to go to a campfire. So here's where you would be able to restore some Elixir of Life and increase your maximum. But what I really want to do is evolve a unit to make somebody better, because right now these are all bronze tier units and they can go all the way up to gold. It usually costs you some of your Elixir to do this. Right now it is going to be free. So if I place Richard here, for example, not only does he get a lot more stats, but all of my adjacent allies are going to get up to 13 damage instead of 10, which is a pretty nice boost since so many of my units rely on that. So it's a synergy that just makes sense. We like Richard. Richard is great. All right, it's time for a boss. The Grand Moulder, the mother of mold and malice, slay her children and she'll crumble with them. Her whole shtick here is she's going to have a whole bunch of those little ad spawners we had talked about before, and as we destroy these or kill the unit spawned, she'll start losing health. So the more we kill ads, eventually we'll kill the boss. Otherwise, we could just focus on her, but you're going to get overwhelmed if you do it that way, so we're going to have to. The big issue is I am surrounded, and that scares me. Scares me a lot. Let's go ahead and put you here, and we're going to put you up here, and then I'm going to surround you guys again. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, you now have 12 damage. We could set you up to 13. It does make sense to place you here. So we'll do this. I'm going to try to put you into taunt mode to try and draw some attention. The rest of you guys are just going to have to burn through it with raw DPS. We could use an available scroll, but I think we'll be able to win this. And by beating a boss, we'll get all of our Elixir back, so even if we lose some units, it's not the end of the world. I'm just relying on straight-out DPS here, and so far you can see we are killing very, very quickly. This Cupcake guy is just, he's owning, all right? This guy is the MVP by a long shot. He is hitting really, really hard, and it's keeping me alive beautifully. All right, there we go. All that elixir is done. We get a really nice reward here. We can choose between 2 very high-level trinkets or a couple of really good patches. What do we want here? Stone Shield, lots of health and some armor. Not bad. Myrtle Bow, increase the attack speed. Also really good for certain builds. All allies are going to have tempo where they gain ambush every 4 turns, or tempo triggers every 3 attacks instead of 4. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't really go for much of a tempo build here, so while there is some tempo, I'm not sure that's what I want to go for. I think I'm going to go for the Myrtle Bow because some units being able to attack really fast I could see being extremely good. So the question is, do we put it on our healer so we heal really quickly? Or do we just go for lots and lots and lots of raw damage? And I'm kind of leaning toward the raw damage right now. But if we ever find ourselves in a situation where I need more healing, boosting up this guy's attack speed by a lot is not a bad plan. All right, what do we want to do? I'm going to go down over here to a Blacksmith. This is where we could actually smith dual copies of these together. So our Toffee Bulwark just takes 1 slot and gets, 6 armor instead of 3. So it's just a little bit easier to manage if we do it that way. Always click on this, by the way. I have found, I need to report this to the devs, that sometimes if you just leave the shop while it's still hovering there, you lose the item, and that feels really, really bad, so don't do that. We could also spend some of our nectar trying to just roll for a free thing, but I'll hold off on that. I think it's fine. We have more uses for our money. Let's go to get another treasure. We get ourselves winged boots, gain backliner and fast. Now that's interesting. So this guy is going to increase our attack speed. It also means we're going to attack the range units with priority, and then also our unit moves faster. Pretty good for really fast-moving, high-damage melee units. Not as great for me right now. Still, I'll go ahead and toss this on Bob so we get a little bit of extra healing. I might rearrange that later. We'll see. Let's go to a Blight Nest. Now, this is a special type of fight where you could have some sort of a curse, and if you are able to take on the curse, you get an extra reward. If you can't handle it, you can go ahead and turn it off, but I think this is fine. My allies are going to start with Charmed, so their first couple attacks do no damage. Obviously risky, but it's a risk that I think I am willing to take, so we'll just go ahead and put everybody here in the back. I still think that this bug just benefits from doing a lot of extra damage, so let's just stick with it. And here we go. All right, run in there. Let's see what kind of damage you're able to do. There are no range units here. The Vladimir unit's going to start getting punched really hard by this big guy. Oof, that giant fungus was looking a little scary. If we don't make Vladimir a bit stronger, that's going to be tough. But by beating that, we do get ourselves an extra reward here, so we get ourselves some more patches. We could get some extra damage for every adjacent ally. That's pretty good for us. On attack, get some extra healing, or on death, just basically get a little bit of health and go into stealth. I'm going to go for the Conductor's Palm there because that does make sense for what I'm doing. And I'll put it on... who do I want to put it on? Let's go ahead and put it on Bob, honestly. I think that's okay. I still like the poison, the attack speed on Cupcake over here. So Bob might just do a little bit more damage for the moment. I'd love to get some more evolutions, though, if at all possible. Looking down here, there is an evolution option over this direction. So we could go to the Peddling Alchemist. I'd have to take a boss fight and all that, but I think that's okay. I'm going to take the southern route. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another rallying banner. What do we get here? Ludwig, set the base attack speed a little bit higher. Or Ambrose, when hit, he heals a wounded ally. I'm going to take this because I think that having something a bit tanky on my front line is going to be necessary going forward. Also, he provides a bit more sustain. Chubristle. Okay, he has thorns. So basically, if we ever hit him, we are going to take some damage. And whenever he's hit, he loses some of this, which means he loses his damage. So we do need to burn him down, ideally with range units before they all die. Okay, so, gosh, this is going to actually be a little bit on the tough side. How do we want to handle this one? Let's place Vladimir in the back to deal with these guys, Ambrose in the front to try and draw a lot of hits. And then I really want to make sure, well, these guys are going to attack, Bob's going to attack range units, I know that. I'm going to place you here, and then we're going to attack using you. It's mainly on the boss, try to do range damage and burn him down with poison. I think that's going to have to be okay. This might be a tough fight, but we'll give it a go. Let's see what happens. All right, so remember, as my Ambrose guy takes damage, he heals everybody else a little bit. We are going to lose a bug. That's not the end of the world. It just means we have to spend some of our elixir to restore him. But that's it. Okay, so he did his job. He kept everyone else safe, and we won that no problem. Allies with tempo for healing isn't bad. Whenever an enemy with poison dies, we get some healing. I mean, we spread poison, so that's an option. Or, of course, we can have our lowest attack speed damage get some extra speed. That would go on Vladimir, which is okay. But I don't know how much I'm going to rely on him in the long run. I think we'll take Toxic Love since I do spread some poison, and that means we now can get some more sustain on the map as well. Another battle coming up. Let's go ahead and fight these Cap Crushers again. And this is a Myco host. Range on death, apply poison to enemies in its area of effect. I'm not happy about that guy. Not happy about that guy, but it's probably fine. It's probably fine, not even really worried about it. So let's just go ahead and do all this. I'm going to say you go into taunt mode, and then that's good enough for me. Let's see what we can do as far as drawing their attention. Just really start burning them down. Bob did a good job of burning that guy out before he could really apply any poison to me, so we'll be okay. You'll start finding by now we're going to start burning through our elixir a lot more because at this point we will start taking some damage. It's kind of hard to avoid because the enemies are going to hit a lot harder. Let's go to that Peddling Alchemist. So this is where we could do an evolution at the cost of some elixir. We could make Ambrose up here into a gold unit, and that is pretty solid. Can make Cupcake attack even faster, which is also good. Richard could do even more stuff. What do we want? Bob could do more healing. It's not bad either. I'm kind of tempted to say we should just attack even faster with Cupcake because the DPS is keeping me alive. That's also more poison we can inflict, and then more units that die mean more healing, right? Let's give that a go. I'm going to make Cupcake just a wee little bit stronger. Hopefully that ends up being the right decision for me. I love the art style in the game. Very creative approach with all the buggos. Anyway, more treasure. On attack, we get to do some healing. Okay, that's not bad. I will apply you to Ambrose, so he self-heals now instead of only healing his allies. I feel like that's going to be a good thing for us. Lots of big guys over here. Okay, so just like before, I think we surround everyone around Richard, because Richard's going to be good. I have played this a few times where, like, you really don't want to have your units all clustered together. You want to spread so that they kind of draw some folks over here and some down here. This is a very simple approach and tactic right now, but there are more tactics than I'm showing you. Like, depending on what your build is, the placement is really, really, really important. We did lose Ambrose, unfortunately. That's not a huge deal. Again, we'll just spend some of our elixir. We'll get it all back at the end of this floor, so it's okay. He's doing his job, is the important thing. He's doing his job. What I'm really missing are the freaking stores. Like, we're supposed to be getting stores here, man. Friendly prices, tip of the hat. I need more of those. Anyway, big guy over here. All right, I think this guy, yeah, as long as he has armor, he does area damage. That's spoopy. And it's going to be really hard to place my units in a way that they benefit. Ooh, from my area help here. Okay. How do we want to do this? I'm going to place Richard here with, how do we want to do this? Let's place Ambrose over here. He'll take the main hits. Move you here, move you here. I'm going to place my stealth bug right over here to target the boss, and by right-clicking, I can say who he's going to attack. And then Vladimir's going to be over here and draw half of them over. I suspect I'm going to lose my 2 front liners, but if I can burn down the boss and then just kind of kill all the little guys, maybe we'll still be okay. This is a good time to use my scroll, so I'm going to. Maybe I have to wait until I'm in the fight. I've actually never... Oh, wait, there it is. I've never actually used these, so now's a good time. Let's go ahead and pop that. So let's slows down all their damage by a little bit. Gives me a better chance of surviving, at least for the moment. Yeah, Vladimir's barely holding himself together just from raw damage. We're trying to kill all these little guys. That worked. All right, so now if the raw damage can do their job, that was actually okay. We got through it. All right, not bad. Didn't even have to spend nearly as much elixir. Let's get ourselves another trinket. We are going to get the Honey Lollipop, another marching band, so we get even more attack speed, or all range units just have straight out more attack speed. This is better, because it's going to get me even more attack speed. And yeah, you can stack up some of these trinkets, so I mean, why not? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go for another random event. While on the road, you suddenly hear, "Hello there, would you mind helping me? A small old woman is coming towards the party on the trail ahead. How did she come this close unnoticed?" Your scouts wonder. She might have wandered too far from home. We'll help you get safe. There's a follow-up choice, or we're running towards danger. Here, take some of the nectar and we get a reward. All right, I'm going to take the follow-on event, but I feel like this is going to be bad for us. We'll find out. I do want to get toward the Alchemist, which I think is for the quest, and I do want to go to the Merchant, so let's do that. We can get that Sugar Rush again, Spotlight. Units with 3+ adjacent allies get more damage. Yes, take that for sure. At the start of combat, the lowest damage gets some more, which is, well, I mean, once you have Richard involved, I'm not sure who that would go on, to be honest. More Toxic Love, more healing, basically, is okay. Is there any, like, patches here we really want? I don't know. I'm going to take the Sugar Rush, and we'll just call that a day there, unless I want something else very badly here. I mean, the extra health isn't a bad choice. Let's pick up the Lyre and Harmony. Yeah. Does this mean that... Yeah, I think if we place this guy on Richard, we can just give everybody some armor. Oh, that seems really good. Okay, we're going to place this here, so you just get yourself a lot of extra HP, and then this goes on here, and now we can apply some armor on everything. That seems good. Okay, let's go to the Alchemist. Thank you so much. She's going to give me something. Cookie jar. Next time you visit the potion maker, you get a nectar cookie. Oh, so it actually was a good event. I was fully expecting something awful to happen, if I'm honest with you, but I'm very glad that didn't happen. Do you want to upgrade Richard again? Honestly, yes. I think that the straight-out raw damage has been just working amazingly for me. So let's max level him. I do want to max level a bunch of other things, but for now, we'll give that one a go. There's another Alchemist over here, and we can get our Nectar Cookie if we go that direction, so let's do it. Get ourselves another one of these trinkets. The first time an ally dies, all enemies lose one of their first attacks. Add a free trinket in all shops. All right, let's just go ahead and really commit to this idea of having very good shops. I need to hit as many of them as we can, but, you know, maybe we can, maybe we can't. What do we have here? All range allies start with some poison on them. I can't do that one because then things like Bob and Cupcake will die too early on, and then I won't get any value, so that's not going to work. Let's go ahead and place you up here. Let's place Vlad... Oh, nope, don't grab the patch. Place Vladimir down here. You, you, and you. Normal setup here. This should be fine. Not going to get the Brave reward, unfortunately. But it's okay. At least it's optional. And yeah, everyone did indeed get a little bit of armor thanks to that Harmony ability. That was great! But that would not have worked if I had taken a bunch of poison on my range units. I don't think they would have survived, unless Bob could have out-healed it, but I really, really doubt it. What else do we want to go for here? Do I actually want to upgrade Bob, or do I want to go for another upgrade to Cupcake? So Cupcake just starts shooting really, really fast. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I mean, I love the idea of healing. I love the idea of stronger front lines, but I'm telling you right now, I think Cupcake attacking 2.3 times per second with all the extra damage from Richard is just going to be incredible. So that's what we will do. Once again, same situation here. We're going to be putting you guys all in the center. I know this is a very unoriginal setup for me, but it's just working. What can I say? Let's do some tanking over there. That should be fine. You're going to draw a lot of attention. This is going to split a few folks. Okay. Nectar Cookie on death. Evolve the unit. You know what? You know what? We got to put this on somebody. Let's put it on Ambrose, so he might get a free evolution. I want you to die, and I'm not going to give you the Vine Liar, because I want to make him gold for future runs. So let's give that a go. Yeah, I know I don't have all my stuff equipped. It's fine. It's fine. Get in there, Ambrose. Die, die, die. No, we're too effective. We're too good. We're too strong. No. It's fine. It's fine. Eventually he shall die, for sure, right? It has to happen. It's okay. It's okay. Let's go back to a campfire. We can do another evolution. What do I want? We could actually just, like, evolve him now. Yeah, it's fine. Pecan, no. I actually think that maybe we do want to just go ahead and do that. But I'll go ahead and evolve Bob instead. So he just does a bit more healing. Yeah, that might keep Ambrose alive. Maybe we never get the Nectar Cookie. If it turns out I'm just that good and I never lose anything, am I really that upset about it? Probably not. Let's go ahead and fight the next boss. This is going to be the Mycelium Herald. So basically, this guy's going to spawn 3 different boss elites. And while they're alive, the onion-looking thing is invincible and has some spikes and some extra stuff. Once the bosses are all dead, then we can take on the boss. So we have these 3 guys. That means positioning is extra important here. Let's make sure we place these guys in a position where they can tank a handful of folks like this. So I want to split their forces. And then, yeah, same situation as usual. Go with this. We can try doing some poison here. What does this guy do? The Rubraras? Ranged, on attack, steal some power from the 10 highest units. Ow, every time you attack, you're going to make me weaker. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But all right, let's give it a go. I'm not even going to use my scroll. I think we can win this. So let's see how it's going to work. Get him, Ambrose! Get him! Oh my gosh, Cupquake. Cupquake is crushing it! Oh! Oh! I love this freaking bug. This freaking bug paired up with Richard is amazing. Now we get all of our elixir back and everyone's nice and healthy. So, do we want to go for that diversion? Another Myrtle Bow is insane. At the start of every chapter, gain a lot of nectar for stores. I don't think I need to do that again. Allies have tempo, ambush. I'm going to take this for the survivability aspect. Now, if so far this game seems a little bit easy to you, that's because we're having a really good run. This is not normal at all for me right now. But also, the good news is there is another way to increase the difficulty in between runs, which I'll show you by the time we get to the end of the video. Enemies start with thorns. I accept this. It's fine. And if Ambrose dies, Ambrose dies. You're going to be in the very, very front, okay? I want you in the front, and I want you to taunt everything, and I want everything to try to kill you so that you can get that evolution in there for me. I think it's going to end up being good. What else do I have here? Oh, another Nectar Cookie. Wait, I got another Nectar Cookie? How'd that happen? Okay, let's go ahead and apply that to Vladimir as well. Maybe there's a good chance that Vladimir dies. Okay, let's try it. Let's see what happens. If people die, I can only benefit. I see this as an absolute win. Unfortunately, we're so good that nope, that did not happen. No! I don't mean to be so stinking strong, but there we go. Butterfly Knife. On attack, we lose HP. That's a way of trying to force him to die, I suppose. Apply some extra poison, more toffee bulwark, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take this so we can possibly blacksmith it later. If we don't need it, we don't need it. That's fine. Cupcake's amazing, dude. I'm going to go back to the Peddling Alchemist and go for another upgrade. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? I could upgrade Vladimir. The more damage he does, the more he heals, so it's not bad. Bakan could apply extra poison and last in stealth longer. Bob could do even more healing. I'm going to go for an upgrade to Vladimir. It only costs 5 elixir. If you go from silver to gold, it costs 10. So we have to be careful about that. I'd like to get myself another bug at some point, if possible. Reinforcing party. We'll go here and see what we can get, because it's almost always going to be a gold unit. Nikolai, when healed, he gains more power. Very strong frontline tank. Very, very strong. Range, tempo, gain more attack speed. We saw that before. Ozra, when any unit dies, we heal. I'm going to go for Nikolai. just because having a really strong front tank who's just getting stronger as he heals, that's not bad. That pairs up beautifully with Ambrose and with Bob. Nikolai could be amazing for us. So yeah, we have another one of these freaking cookies. Dude, what is happening with the cookies? I'll apply it onto you, I suppose. I will give you Toffee Bulwark, and I will give you... what else? Let's just go for the cape, I guess, for now. Sure? Question mark? Fine. Let's go for a Blight Nest. What do we have for a attack? Enemy has Scavenger and Fast. This scares me because they're going to attack my lowest health units, so they're probably going to attack my range guys. I'm going to take the risk, though. I'm not sure there's a lot we can do about it. Let's send in Vladimir and folks. I'm going to let... you're stealth, so you're probably going to be fine. I got a bad feeling they're going to go make a beeline for Cupcake, and this is going to hurt. But we gotta try. We gotta try. Let's just go ahead and see if we can't kill these guys. Yeah, the range units are definitely trying to murder Cupcake. Stop killing Cupcake! Oh my god, we out-healed through all of that. You're kidding me. You're kidding me! How are we this strong? I've never been this strong. This is incredible. Another magic band-aid, Berserk. All enemies. So whenever we go down to half health, we can make all enemies miss their next attack. Not bad. I'll just take the magic band-aid so that we will be able to upgrade that at a blacksmith if we have an opportunity. Another Blight Nest. Let's give that a go. Enemies deal 4 damage when they die. Okay. Ambrose, please, for God's sake, do us all a favor and die. I really, really need you to die. You can taunt this group. You can taunt this group. I'm not even going to give you all the extra attack, okay? I am leaving you in a position where I hope you get attacked, okay? Let's see what happens. Is this going to work? Ambrose, please get crushed. No, we're still out healing you. There we go. Come on, die, 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 die. No, don't target other things. There we go. He's dead. He's dead, Jim. That's exactly what we were hoping for. We lose a little bit of elixir, but it's basically just a half-priced evolution. Whee! Test dummy. Hungry Lance. Gain Scavenger and Fast. That's not bad. Or inflict... oh, I gotta go to a blacksmith, dude. Even more poison on Cupcake would be pretty great. Let's go to this alchemist again. So we finished with that cookie. I will upgrade probably Bob. Sure, so we get even more healing spread around. The more healing I have, the less elixir I'll end up spending. So I consider this an investment in my future. We could go for another evolution if we go down this route. Why are there so few shops is my question. There are legitimately so few shops. We're going to go for the boss up here. Let's see what we got with this elite. So this guy, the Red Maw, at half health, he fully heals and attacks really, 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 really fast. Right, so we want to first kill all of the ads and then deal with him. That is going to be my goal. So let's place Ambrose here. What do you have, by the way? You finished your cookie. Nectar cookie on death, out of uses, no effect. Well, then we can get rid of that. That's fine. So we'll give you some extra HP, and I will give you probably when hit apply some poison, since that does seem to work. Actually, no, let's just go ahead and let you do a little self-healing. It's not a lot, but it's okay. Gonna have you do the taunting. Place you up here, you here, you here, you here, you here. Is that okay? I think that's gonna be okay. Let's give that a go. See what happens. So Ambrose is definitely going to start chunking a lot of the hits. I don't want to bring the boss down too much. I want to kill all the ads. Looks like it happened regardless. But we're able to burn through him because all his ads did indeed die. We stacked up that poison very, very comfortably. God, I attribute everything to Cupcake. I really do. Tempo for healing. Again, we could get some more healing that way. Or just, yeah, why not? Get another spotlight? Sure. More power on everyone, including Cupcake. God, it's just such a good synergy. It works. Blacksmith. All right, now we can do some stuff. So, more darts. Bring these together. Thank you. I wonder if you could... No, I don't think you can bring the nectar cookies together. I don't think that's actually a thing, so we won't worry about that. Let's hit you. Great. Anything else? Yes, we had the Band-Aids. Let's go ahead and bring that together, and there we go. All right, that should be everything. I'm not going to take my risk at some more patches. I think we're okay on that front. So, I want to... probably put this on Vladimir. We definitely want to put this back on Cupcake. Magic Band-Aid is definitely strong. What's better for us here? Let's put this on Nikolai. I don't know if I need it. And this Nectar Cookie is just kind of sitting here. I don't really have an immediate use for him because everyone else is already at full health, so I could save it for Pecan, but let's be honest, Pecan's not the one going to die. Pecan's not going to die at all. I'm going to go for another Blight Nest in case we get a really good roll here. I can always turn it off. Yeah, this is fine. Enemies deal 4 damage to my allies whenever they die. We can out-heal that, right? I am pretty sure that we can. So we'll just do our normal setup like so. Just go ahead and pull Nikolai out for once, and I'm going to go ahead and bring... sorry, not Nikolai. Pull out Vladimir, bring in Nikolai. Let's have this big honking guy and see how he does. All right, I want to know if he is, in fact, the almighty boss that I think he is. And let's see how quickly we can kill these guys off. Ambrose took a lot of damage early on. God, Cupcake, look at that go. Look at that go. All right, everyone took a lot of damage, but we actually still out-healed all of it. It's incredible. Razor Blade on attack, we lose some health. Meh, on attack, this guy loses some damage, but gives some to all allies, or we could just go for another potential self-heal, and I can upgrade that later. I think that's going to be fine. That's going to be okay. Another event, Flamboyant Ringmaster steps into your path, coat glittering with charms. So he has a traveling circus. We need more wonder, joy, and hope. We could lose a unit in order to gain a reward. If I lost Nikolai, who I don't need, but I do like it, we could gain sneak attacks. We do more damage at full health, plus another toxic pollen, plus honey lollipop. Or we could lose Bakan, who is kind of one of our weaker units at this point. I don't mind doing this. Then we could get another toxic love, sugar rush, and last fumes. I'm going to lose Bakan. He's been okay, but it's okay with me at this point. We'll lose him and replace him with Nikolai since he is a gold tier, very strong unit who's going to get a lot of HP. I don't think this is a bad trade for me at the end of the day. We can go for another level up, and this time it'll be on Vladimir. And I think I'll just go ahead and do that. Plus, we want to get ourselves to another shot. So at this point, all 6 of my bugs are going to be at the gold rank. So this is our final form, so to speak. That's a lot of damage on Vladimir. Very good self-healing, too. Like, he is respectable. So we get a free thing. Wonderful finale. So whenever someone dies, we get charm on everyone. Okay. Not bad. Guerrilla Tactics. Yeah, we've seen that before. Warning Stench. Whenever you enter a battlefield, all enemies get poison. Very good for me because remember, I can spread poison and heal from poison. Another sneak attack or a twig tronome instead of a metronome. I get it. Let's go ahead and grab sneak attack and twig tronome. And I guess I'll take the Guerrilla Tactics. And is there anything else I really care about here? Not especially. I guess I'll take another Hungry Lance, but I don't think I'm going to use it. We'll see. Get ourselves another trinket over here for free. Another Warning Stench. Even more poison. I mean, that seems good, but what I'll do is instead take the toxic pollen because I think we're going to get overall more spread that way. Yeah, I think we'll get even more poison that way. I mean, 3 poison on everybody, or every time one dies, we just start stacking up 6. Seems pretty okay to me. Another Conductor's Baton. Honestly, we're kind of at a point where I don't think that I need most of these patches. Like, everyone's looking pretty okay. We're almost at the final boss, by the way, so we don't have a lot of time. That's a lot of enemies! Woo! Okay, you're gonna be so much fun to deal with. So much fun. Remember, we set our damage to 16, so Nikolai can benefit from some extra strength. Vladimir, once again, no longer benefits from being next to Richard, so we don't want to do that anymore. We want to keep him just ever so slightly further apart. So I'm going to let you be a tank, I'm going to let you be a tank, and that should be okay, I think. Let's give it a go. That is so much damage. I am trusting that we're going to be able to start spreading the poison like absolute crazy. Somebody just died. Everyone went into ambush mode for a brief moment. I think Ambrose immediately bit the dust. He sure did. We're down to 43 elixir, but as long as we can get to the final boss and win, I think we're fine. Because we get all of our elixir back, so that's not a big deal. Another Blight Nest, our last big fight before the boss. Allies start with Shattered. We take extra damage. I'm okay with that. I can think of worse things. I can. Yeah, probably. Yeah. We'll do this. Let's go ahead and place you here, you here, you here, you here, and then once again, Vladimir over in the distance. I'm going to let you sit over here and try to draw some... No, that's not a good idea. He's just going to die, right? He's going to draw too much attention. Let's, Ambrose, take the primary hits. That tanks all of them. And then if I move you up here... we only tank like 5 units. I think Vladimir can handle that. Okay. Just trying to make sure, you know, that we don't... Oh my god, Ambrose instantly died. These cap crushers are so strong. No, Cupcake, no! Don't die on me! Okay. Woo! Ambrose is apparently not holding it together as well anymore, but I mean, can you blame him? Those were some big, scary, angry mushroom boys. All right, another campfire. So we don't benefit from evolving a unit. Everybody's fully evolved, right? Yeah, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get our elixir back, but it's kind of useless to me as well. We're in a really good position. So now we have to fight the boss, the Crimson Puppeteer. Very strong enemy. Spawns copies of my team as I place them and shares its health and damage with them. So if we haven't really scaled our units, we're going to be facing some shadow clones, so to speak, who are going to obliterate me. So we will, of course, go ahead and do all of this. Vladimir, get up over here. They mostly are meant to fight like they're doubles. Let's go ahead and get some good tanking up there. Move you up here, put you into a tanking position, so they're going to share the taunting. This could be dangerous right now. The fact that I do, like, my first 3 attacks are completely, like, damage-free. Sorry, first damage attack. They're going to get a first, like, alpha strike on me. I'm going to go ahead and use my available scroll. Just go ahead and debuff them. This seems like the perfect time to do it. We had 2 left. Just go ahead and see what happens. All right, don't die on me quite yet, Ambrose. We just got to out-heal this. Just got to out-heal it. You're doing great. There we go. There we go. All right, shared heal. And now the Crimson Puppeteer is a gon' die. And that is a full run of Hive Blight. Pretty fun game, honestly. I find, first off, like, the art style and the different abilities and synergies of the units to be very compelling. Like, it's actually pretty well balanced and thought out. But just in general, like, it's actually a really fun auto-battler. Again, this was a demonstration where it turns out that just kind of putting everyone together with Richard is, like, always going to be the right strategy. But I have had games where I really want to be very careful with my positioning, intentionally drawing some enemies away while I finish off the rest and then kind of swoop in for a flank. It does happen. Anyway, there is going to be some progression based on which clans you used in a fight. In this case, we've now unlocked a few more things. We've got the webbed harp, the lively tambourine, and the cloaked dagger as items we can find. Those are pretty good. Plus 4 more trinkets, the echo chamber, the Valkyrie, heartbreaker, and silent killer. Okay, so there's some new things there. Also, Nina! Wow, that is a provocative little bug right there. What kind of bug even is this supposed to be? Hang on, you can actually click on this and see. It's a golden tortoise beetle. I like it, because all the bugs are based on real things. Anyway, enemies targeting her start with Charmed. So basically a very good frontline early tank just to kind of buy you some time while your DPS does their job. Also, we've unlocked some additional symbiotes we could start with at the beginning of every run. That's pretty cool. And that's Hive Blight, everybody. It's a pretty fun game. I really do enjoy it. Though I will say, that was a god-tier run for us there. I've done several runs. It's not normally that easy, but we really made that one work. That said, if you play this game a fair bit, you've unlocked everything you want to, and you're looking for some extra challenge, the good news is, if you want to set up another game, and we'll do that real quick, there is something here called a Blight level. So as you start increasing the difficulty, you'll be able to unlock new challenge modes, which are going to be making the game a lot more difficult. Fights can be 10% harder, elites have 50% more health. You get the idea. It's kind of like an ascension mode. So keep that in mind. Also, if you really want to see your progress as far as unlocking everything, there is a handy encyclopedia right over here, where I can see all the different bugs that I've played with so far, which ones I've got unlocked, what bugs they're based on in real life, plus all the equipment, all the trinkets, all the enemies, and so on. Pretty helpful. But that's all I have for you today. Once again, I do want to thank the developer for sponsoring today's video. I had some fun with this. If you guys want to learn more, the game is coming out on March 9th, and I would encourage you to click on that link in the description down below. Otherwise, please consider hitting that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.